Good evening and welcome in once again to Coliseo Marcelo Trujillo Panisse for tonight's Baloncesto Superior Nacional contest between Leones de Ponce and Grises de Humacao. Alongside my partner Victor Mansouri, I'm Craig Theta, and Victor, Humacao has continued to struggle after the good start. Playoffs, probably a stretch at this point, but some good things to build on for the remainder of the season and going into next year.
Good evening, Craig, and good evening, La Fanaticada de los Grises de Humacao. Yeah, right back here in La H on this game that is for the home team. You know, even though they are sitting at a 7-11 record, you do want to try to pick up a few wins, try to play well, try to go into the right habits, and hopefully build some confidence and build some momentum going forward here into the last part of the season.
Humacao is mired in a 7-game losing streak. Their last game was a loss to Fajardo, 90-85, just a couple of days ago. This will be their 5th game in 10 days. Humacao has not won since May 31st in a 90-76 victory over Mayaguez. Of course, they did complete that suspended game against Quebradillas. 85-83 was the final of that one. Humacao did pull off the win. So I guess technically you can sandwich a win in there. And we did just find out today that Humacao has had a game added to its schedule. The April 27th game against Carolina that was suspended when most of the Humacao team came down with that bacterial infection has been rescheduled to Tuesday, June 28th here in Humacao. So that will be the home finale for the 2022 season. By the regular schedule, it would have been June 23rd against Guaynabo, but with this game added on the 28th, that will extend the season by a few days. The last time these two teams played was on May 16th. Ponce won that game 99-80. Luis Rivera had 18 points, Sasha Campos had 12, and George Matos had 11 in that game for Humacao. And for Ponce, Yezreel De Jesus had 12 points. Mike Rosario had 11. Luis Lopez, 13. And Carlos Rivera had 12. In that game, Ponce shot the lights out. 55% from two-point range, 53% from three-point range. Humacao, they only shot 37% from two-point range and just 39 from three. Humacao won pretty much all the other stats, though. Outscored Ponce in the paint 34-28, and on the fast break, 28-13. Ponce committed 19 turnovers in that game. Humacao committed 13, but usually when you outscore somebody in the paint, you outscore them on the fast break, and the other team commits 19 turnovers, you'd have to think, my goodness, you have to have a pretty good shot to win that game. Humacao lost it by 19 thanks to the hot shooting by Ponce. Maybe they'll cool off here in La H.
No, Craig, you're right, and that's what we want to see from Humacao, that they have great moments like that. You mentioned points in the paint. I also think that's one of the key aspects for tonight's game, as well as playing in transition. So if you're Humacao, we've been able to see them being competitive against some of the main teams in the league, and that needs to be the case against tonight against Ponce as well. You know, La Fanaticada, this city, that's exactly what they're asking for, that they play hard, that they represent well the city, and that they show good decision-making throughout the game, throughout the 40 minutes. So some of the key aspects for tonight's game, in my point of view, for Coach Pedro Gonzalez's squad, Craig, one that you mentioned is win the points in the paint battle, okay? If you can score close there, there's a good chance that you might come out with a win. It wasn't like last time didn't happen, but if you do that again, you're gonna put yourself. And also, like to see Gabriel Belardo in the mix a little bit more. You know, he's been one of the main leaders, one of the main players throughout the first part of the season, so they really need him, okay? You mentioned, Craig, about the hot shooting of Ponce, and they can hurt you in several ways. So can you keep them under that 40% mark and hopefully under the 80-point total? And we've been speaking about this throughout the whole year, but can Humacao be consistent or as close as possible throughout the 40 minutes?
Starters have been announced for tonight's game. For the visitors from Ponce, Yezreel De Jesus, Mike Rosario, Anunwa Omot, Marvin Jones, and Jordan Murphy. for head coach Wilhelmus Cruz. And for Humacao, it's going to be Darian Spotsville, the newcomer Malcolm Miller, Gabby Bellardo, Ken Horton, and Daniel Amigo. So a couple of changes from the last starting lineup that Pedro Gonzalez ran out there. Timaj Parker Rivera will be coming off the bench in this one. And he's one of those guys that you talked about, La Fanaticada. They want to see people play hard, and that's what Timaj Parker Rivera has done all season long. The only player for Humacao who has played in every game, 25 games, he's averaging 10.5 points, 8.5 rebounds, and 2.8 assists. Last time out against Fajardo, he had 17 points, 12 rebounds, and 6 assists. It is an absolute ball to watch Timaj Parker Rivera play, and there's another guy that's fun to watch as well. Gabby Bellardo, he had 10 points, 4 rebounds, and 8 assists against Fajardo. And let's hope that Humacao can conjure up some of the magic that we saw early in this season. Before the illness bug and then the injury bug hit Humacao and the wheels kind of came off, they were really playing well to start off the season. They've already got more wins this year with 7 than they had all of last year with 3. But with that 5-4 start, I think the fans of Humacao and you and I, Victor, after watching the team, we thought they had a legitimate chance at the playoffs.
They did have a legitimate chance, and give Coach Pedro Gonzalez credit here, Craig. You know, we've seen him mix the lineup in several ways, especially mixing the lineup to be competitive on the defensive side. And that's what we have tonight with this starting 5, especially plugging in Spotsville in the starting lineup. You know, because they will have their handful. Los Leones de Ponce, such a traditional franchise. They've got over 14 championships. Even though they haven't won since 2015, this team is the Ponce is a team that has a great mix of young players, explosive scorers, and also some veteran players, guys that can calm things down and get it done in the clutch. Okay, they have enough firepower to hurt you on the inside game and also from the outside shooting. So some of the key players that we're going to have to watch here, obviously De Jesus, you know, Jezebel, he's been an absolute machine. Jordan Murphy, that is also in the starting lineup. We got Luis Lopez. He's been having a great season as well. And you got the veterans, you know, Mike Rosario and Angel Vasallo. So these are kind of guys that, you know, when it really matters, you can count upon. So this Ponce team, you know, is a team that we know is going to go further down in the postseason.
Yesrael De Jesus, the second leading scorer in Baloncesto Superior Nacional, at 18.5 points a game, trailing only Sheldon Mack of Carolina. He's averaging 23.7 per game. And Ponce is a team that's been struggling as of late. They've got a 16-11 record, but they've lost 6 of their last 10. Last time out, they lost to San Germán 91-90 on Tuesday. This is their 4th game in 7 days. Their last win was last Friday when they defeated Arecibo 92-88, and Ponce sits in 3rd place in División A. There again, you see the starting lineup: Spotsville, Miller, Bellardo, Horton, and Amigo for Coach Pedro Gonzalez. Our officials tonight, we should mention, Senores Quiñones, Vasquez, and De La Rosa. And again, the starters for Ponce: De Jesus, Rosario, Oma Jones, and Jordan Murphy. Just a couple of moments away from tip-off. Glad you can be with us wherever you're tuned in from, around the Americas or around the world. My partner's name is Victor Mansouri. I'm Craig Feda, and players being introduced out on the floor. And there's a guy in Daniel Amigo who's been a lot of fun to watch this season. In more ways than one, he plays hard and he racks up points and rebounds, but he's also a guy who has kind of an unconventional shot. And you wonder how he gets some of the points that he does. He shoots from funky angles. He kind of pushes the ball sometimes, but it's effective. It's like a guy with an unorthodox baseball swing or golf golf swing motion. Hey, if they hit the ball straight and far, doesn't matter what it looks like, right?
Yeah, that's right, Greg, because what happens is Daniel Amigo, first he plays under control. You barely see him rushing a play. He always had his heads up. He's looking for guys. He's an unselfish player. He's looking for guys that are cutters. Once he catches the ball down the block, you see him look cross the court trying to make a pass. And with those unorthodox shots, what happens is he gets him up quickly, okay? He gets him up at a speed that even though it looks at a different angle, he doesn't allow the defender to come and challenge that, okay? So inside, it is a game of speed. It is a game, what we call, he's got the big man killer shots. And that's exactly what he does. He pushed the ball off with his right, he pushed it with his left, and really it doesn't matter what it looks, it just matters how efficient it is at this level. So Daniel Amigo definitely has been a great player. And before we get tip off, I think it's important to tell all our fans out there, it is our man Craig Feda's birthday, so we definitely want to wish him a happy birthday and long life for you, my friend.
Thank you.
We've had the honor to be here together and announcing this basketball, the Basketball de Humacao, Los Grises to the fanaticada that's in the United States and outside Puerto Rico as well. So happy birthday to you, Greg. We are very pleased and very honored to be part of this with you, my friend.
Thank you, my friend. Wouldn't spend it any other way. Ball is in the air, and we are underway. And it's going to be Humacao ball to start this one. After Ponce fails to control the tip. Perfect gift for me would be a Humacao win here tonight.
That's right. That's exactly what we're going for. Let's give our man a birthday gift here as we see Ponce with the traditional black and red uniforms, Greg. You know, this is a very traditional franchise. The fans in Ponce, they're absolutely loving this basketball team. So it's great to see them being competitive once again.
And a beautiful offensive set by Humacao to get on the board. It's Ken Horton with the easy lay-in to get things going for the Grays. Marvin Jones launches the three, no good. Rebound by Bilardo in the corner. Here comes Gabby. Now Spotsville, back to Amigo. Shot won't go. Oma. Got the defender in the air. His floater won't go. Tip dunk, no. Bilardo comes away with it. A couple of nice looks there for Ponce, but they were unable to come away with points. Here comes Malcolm Miller, now back out to Horton. Three-pointer is up and good. Ken Horton drains the long jumper, and it's a 5-0 lead for Humacao to start this one.
Good ball movement that time, you know, a couple of passes, and Horton just saw enough daylight. His defender was not up on him, and with a little bit of a fade, just bringing his body back a little bit, he had enough room to knock that down. So for the young ones watching out there, you know, if you give yourself the control of being able to shoot a different angle, just like Gabriel Velado did right here going to his left, you got to learn that. You got to learn going forward, got to learn going to sides a little bit as a fadeaway too, as we've seen back-to-back drill from the outside shot.
De Jesus misses. And Humacao looks to extend this early lead. Bilardo to his right, around Amigo, back to the cutting Amigo. And a foul call.
And I like what I see so far from Gabi Bilardo. He's trying to be aggressive, you know, he's drawing defenders, multiple guys to him, and then he's dishing the ball out to the open man. That's how you create an advantage. See right there, Plique and roll up top with Amigo. As soon as he saw two-man on him, dumped it off to Amigo. So good job by Bilardo in the beginning of the game.
And you saw that he got hit across the shin. He was rubbing that shin. Seems to be okay, though. Pretty fall-away jumper by Gabi Bilardo, and it's a 9-0 run to start this one. And Wilhelmus Cruz wants timeout. Well, that's the way to start a ball game, Victor. We've seen Humacao do this a couple times, just come out like a house of fire. They did it, remember, last week or about 10 days ago against Bayamon. Built up a 22-point lead before Bayamon came roaring back and winning that game by 1. Let's hope Pedro Gonzalez and the rest of Los Grises have learned from that game. And what do you think Pedro's telling him in this huddle?
Well, what happens is Humacao and Pedro Gonzalez, they put a lineup out there of very aggressive players that are able to play multiple positions. Obviously, you got Belardo, who's the ball handler, and he can create for himself. He's knocked a few shots already, you know, and also dished a few assists. But you got Horton, you got Miller, you got Spotsville. Those three guys really play positionless, so they're able to, you know, stand on the outside and knock down the shot. They can cut to the basket and finish strong near the rim. So that generates a lot of confusion. And you also add in Amigo to the mix, who is an unselfish player. So this lineup for Humacao, yes, it is surprising to start the game 9-0, but, you know, we've seen them do it before. Is exactly that. They have guys, versatile guys, that can play multiple positions, and that does create a mismatch.
And how good is it to see Gabby Belardo knock down his first two shots? Those looked very much in rhythm, shot with a lot of confidence. We know he's been battling that hand injury, missed a couple of games, and his scoring output has been up and down for a while. He did have 10 points and 8 assists in the loss to Fajardo, but he's got 4 quick ones here, and those were 2 very good-looking shots by Gabby.
And they need that. You know, Gabi Belardo, we saw him have a great first part of the season. Absolute all-star, you know, was the heart and soul of this team in many games. And then, you know, teams start studying you. They start putting a target behind your back. They start to create game plans towards you, you know. So perhaps a little bit of a leg fatigue, too, playing so many games. You see, he's the ball handler, a lot of volume in his hands, you know, and in his game. So maybe, I would say those 2 things, perhaps legs, you know, and guys zoning in, game planning against you.
Murphy gets Ponce on the board. Belardo again, no good. Rebound tipped by Amigo, but controlled and nearly stolen away by Belardo. Omut ends up with it, and he circles it back around. Gets it back to Jones. Now Rosario. Back to Jones. His 17-footer is good. Marvin Jones has all 4 points for Ponce, and it's 9-4. Spotsville. Miller around the Belardo screen. Now Miller on the drive. Loses control. Gets knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with Humacao with 8 on the shot clock.
Good job at the referee call, not calling that foul. I thought Miller actually tried to draw some contact. The referee said, okay, my friend, we saw all of that. That would be just baseline. So good job. We like when the referee let them play, you know. This is a men's game at this level, so let them figure it out.
Belardo with his first miss. Now here comes Rosario. He launches up the 3. That's no good. Long rebound. Taken by De Jesus, and just like that, it's 9-6. So a 6-0 run now for Ponce. Horton. 3 on the way, a little strong for Miller. Now Ponce can tie it with a 3 here. Here's Omut guarded by Horton. Omut gets it back, goes around Amigo, misses the dunk, but he is going to go to the free throw line. Beg your pardon, that was Marvin Jones.
You got to respect him, you know, Craig. He made the first 2 shots, so this time Amigo has to honor his pump fake. As we see right there, he faced forward, pump fake, and then Amigo has to come and then absolute putting the ball on the deck and just taking it strong. Couldn't finish in the end, but that's how you do. Jones, number 24 here, showing us that he got the outside touch. And once you knock a few shots down in the beginning, that just opens up a lot of arsenal for you. So we had to see him bring it here in the first few minutes.
Jones, a 71% free throw shooter, hits them both. And now it's 9-8. So Humacao with a 9-0 run to start the game. Ponce answers with an 8-0 run. Let's see if Humacao can get back in the scoring column on this trip. Here's Amigo. Gritty turnaround right hand scoop. A rather little flip with the right hand hook shot. And Jones scores again for Ponce. Little pressure by Ponce, and now a foul called. I believe that's going to be on Marvin Jones.
And give Coach Cruz credit, Craig. You know, a lot of the times we talk about letting teams figure out on their own. You want to save your timeout right away. When it's a 9-0 game, he said, stop for a second, let's talk things over. And they come out completely different after that. So it doesn't matter how early it is. If you got to stop the momentum, you absolutely got to do it, not worry about how many timeouts you have.
Bilardo, the long three, that's no good. Horton can get the rebound, but Spotsfield tracks it down in the corner. Now Miller for three. That's good.
Great pickup in Miller, Craig. You know, it's a guy that's very long, athletic, can defend multiple positions. And on the offensive end, you know, now that they don't have Jordan Swing, you know, guy that they miss very much, Miller's that guy. He can knock down shots. He can put the ball on the ground. We saw him have a great game here last home game. So we're going to need more of him.
Bilardo scores again. And now the three-pointer makes it, beg your pardon, I'm going to say that was a two. 16-12. Coming up on 4 minutes to play, first quarter. Talked about Malcolm Miller. 53 career NBA regular season games as he hits the three-pointer, as we talk about him right there. Won an NBA title in 2019 with your beloved Raptors, Victor.
Toronto Raptors, thank you very much. That's absolutely right. We got that one, baby. Ain't nobody taking that one away from us. And, you know, Craig, what happens here is that when you bring that experience, that explosive scoring, that does help out, you know. Now, on the other end, we see the drive there and the foul. Humacao has got to make the adjustment. Marvin Jones already with 8 points and hurt them with that little outside shot from the free throw line there, as they completely miscommunicated here on the out of bounds and get scored on. But they got to make the adjustment on Marvin Jones, because this is a guy that created problems for them already.
Horton splits the defense, has his shot blocked by Jones. Oh, here comes Oma all the way. And Omit's going to go to the free throw line. 83% free throw shooter on the season. Yeah.
Just going in the paint, you know, able to Euro step around his man, kind of brought the ball above there, the defender, and went in for the dunk. Good thing he missed. But I mean, talk about an athletic player, a great basketball player he is. Fun to watch.
Luis Rivera getting set to check in for Humacao, as Omet misses the first free throw. Luis Rivera had 6 points and 6 assists in the loss to Fajardo. That's nice to see Rivera get the assist numbers up. We know he can score. But as a young point guard, sometimes have to resist that temptation to score so much, and you got to be a facilitator. Back to Miller. Miller pops from the right elbow. That rolls off right side. Oh, what a play by Ken Horton. Falling out of bounds, throws it off the leg of Manunwa Omet. Yeah.
That's how you don't give up on the play. You know, you play until it's dead. That time he had a little bit of able to see the ball and just slapped it across, and the ball hit the defender. But to your point there, you know, Rivera, this is part of his growing. You know, as a point guard, beautiful shot there by Gabi Bilardo going baseline. But Rivera, when you play that point position, and we saw this, there was a game here that they really, as they go to 2-3 zone now, that they really need. They need him to mature, and they need to mature quickly, you know, into becoming the playmaker that he can be, the shot maker, but also the assist maker.
Omet misses the three. 2.5 minutes to play first quarter. Now a 3 on the way. That is good. Miller from long range again. He's got 9. Now nearly stolen away, but poked out of bounds by Rivera. And we've seen this lineup a couple times, at least this configuration at guard, with Rivera and Bilardo in the game at the same time. Usually it's one or the other, but we've seen this a couple times. Now Jonathan Ocasio checking in for Ponce.
Both guys that can create, Greg, they can hurt the defense, with their outside shooting. And if they do that, that's going to open up some lanes for the other players. As the referee kind of dropped the ball there, they're going to get a restart. But I like this lineup with the two guys that can really shoot the ball from the outside.
Luisito pulls the rebound out of there. Luis Colon in there now for Daniel Amigo. Horton back inside to Colon. He's going to take it himself. Off the glass and in! How about Luis Colon?
That's right, young fella. Put your head down. Go to your strong hand. That time his left hand. As we see once again, we talked about this. They got to match up with Jones in that top of the key. He's made 3 or 4 of those already, but Colon just put his head down, went right into the bank shot. Beautiful, beautiful way to knock it down.
Quick 3 missed by Bilardo. 1:15 to play first quarter. Now here's Ocasio to his right. Cut off, ball nearly stolen off the pass. Ocasio gets the defender in the air, and he's going to go to the free throw line. You get a look at the big man, Luis Colon, 35 years old from San Juan.
This is exactly what you get in the game for, Craig. Guys go inside the lane, you're either going to challenge them or make them know that you're there, make them earn at the free throw line, knowing that you might play limited minutes. Make sure that you use those fouls wisely, and it paid off there. You see as the first free throw was missed.
Ocasio in just his 12th game for Ponce this season. He had been 2 for 2 from the free throw line. He did not play on Tuesday in the loss to San Germán. And he gets the second free throw with 1:13 to play. Darian Spotsville comes back on, and Gabby Bilardo sits down. Miller to Spotsville. To Horton. Now Colon. Again, he's going to take it himself. His shot gets blocked. Carlos Rivera backs it out and lets the offense get set up. 35 to play in the first quarter. Off the glass and in. Marvin Jones continues to be unstoppable in this first quarter. And he's going to go to the free throw line to try to complete the three-point play.
Colon that time just a bit late. See right there as Horton was going to push him. He's going to push him baseline. Colon just late. A lot of the time this is a practice situation. If you want a double team, you come from the baseline. That way you don't allow the pass, to go back to the 45 on the other side. But Colon just a bit late that time, and hit him on the arm. And Jones, beautiful concentration. Talk about a hot shooting star. He's got 12 points on 4 for 7. He gets to make it 13 here. So that would be 13 out of 21 potentially. Great start for number 24.
Sasha Capos coming on now. Ken Horton getting his first rest of the game. Capos averaging 5.6 points and 2.3 rebounds per game. Did not score last time out against Fajardo, but we've seen his minutes and output increase the last couple 3 weeks. So Jones gets a well-earned rest after sinking the free throw.
you would take your best players sometimes in the last possession of a quarter is that they're going to get this last 30 seconds break, plus the break in between the quarters, and then also the first few minutes of the next one. So total might be that he gets a 7 or 8 minute break. Smart move by Ponce.
A nice drive by Luisito. Gets the finger roll layup, and now Carlos Rivera misses from 35 feet, and the first quarter will come to an end with Humacao on top, 28-21. Strong offensive quarter for Humacao. And let's see if they can continue it into the second quarter. 28-21 Humacao. We're back with second quarter action live from Humacao in just a moment.
Ahora se puede con un préstamo personal de la Cooperativa Oriental. Ponte al día con tus metas financieras con un cómodo pago mensual que tienes hasta 90 días para hacer el primer pago. Llama al 787-418-2021. Cooperativa de Ahorro y Crédito Oriental, la alternativa de todo un pueblo.
(28-21) after one quarter. Los Grises lead Los Leones. Rebounds even. 9-5 lead in assists for Humacao. Humacao in that first quarter shot 54% from the floor, including 50% from three-point range. Malcolm Miller has 9 points, Gabby Bilardo 8, Ken Horton 5, Daniel Amigo 2, Luis Rivera 2, Luis Colon 2. For Ponce, Marvin Jones with 13, no one else with more than 2 points. So Victor Mansoure find a way to shut Marvin Jones down.
Yeah. That's right. And you know what happens, Craig, with a man that's hot like that in Marvin Jones, what you want to do is you want to do your work freehand, okay? Don't allow him to catch the ball. Don't allow him, make him uncomfortable. As we say, see Sasha there almost knocked down a corner three. But make him uncomfortable, okay, in catching the ball or places that he doesn't want to. I thought that he was very, catching the ball by the free throw line. Beautiful shot there by Sasha on the back on the second one. Make sure that Humacao puts a body on him and take him from his comfort zone, which is around that free throw area.
Here comes Carlos Rivera, and now Jonathan Ocasio. His double clutch layup is good. Ocasio wearing 2 different colored shoes. Not sure if there's a mix-up in the box or if he's making a fashion statement.
A good first quarter by Humacao, Craig. Obviously you like to see Gabi Berlardo, again, he's a key factor for them. The games that he plays well, it puts his team in a chance to win this game. We also see Miller with the hot hand and Luis Rivera there with the three. So this is what you like to see from Humacao. Hot shooting, keep it up, guys.
The lead is back to 9, matches the biggest lead of the game for Humacao when they started the game off with a 9-0 run. Now a three at the other end, no good. Rebounded by Negron. His putback attempt is no good, but he'll go to the free throw line. Capos whistled for the foul.
And on the other hand, I think that actually Ponce has made Humacao's job a little bit easier. We see guys get open looks. You know, the ball gets swung. All of a sudden, you're getting Capos got back-to-back shots. We know he's a shooter. So, I mean, Ponce, as we know it, definitely they don't have this record because of any reason. They are a better defensive team than right now, but, you know, Humacao doesn't care about that and is getting all kinds of shots that they want. So that's what you like to see. Keep running your motions and getting the shots from where they're supposed to be. That time, Luis Rivera, it seemed like it was a deep shot, but it was an in-rhythm shot. You know, once he caught it, he knew exactly, he had a face-forward angle, able to step right into it. So that's what you want to do. Guys shooting within their roles.
Second free throw good for Negron. He's now 3 of 11 on the season. Amigo gets it poked out of there, but a foul called.
Basketball players are very passionate. You know, as we see their guys arguing like he didn't get him, and clearly we can see it from him. And he's saying the baseline ref didn't call, it doesn't matter. There's 3 teams out there. Humacao, Ponce, and the referee crew, so good job by them.
Earlier on, Daniel Amigo was protesting a foul, and it was clear he fouled him with both his arm and his leg, so I'm not sure what Amigo was questioning, but yeah, we see that all the time. What, me? I didn't do anything.
As we see there in
Spotsville,
the Yolanda Quintero, you know, who's been responsible, worked at FIBA Americas for so many years. She's right there sitting courtside. It is great to see her in the gym.
I thought I recognized her. I thought I recognized Yolanda. Luis Lopez for 3, no good. Rebound out of bounds. Boy, I thought that went off Nathaniel Butler, but they're going to say that went off Ocasio. Hey, Yolanda arranged a lot of the travel coordination.
Yeah, player regulation
and logistics with FIBA. Yeah. Yeah.
She had a huge
like
role.
You, she did a lot, just like you did.
And, you know, huge contributor for basketball. Because what happens, Craig, is a lot of the administration work, you know, on the back end, a lot of time gets unseen, you know, when everything goes smoothly, that's when, you know, you don't want to be recognized when something goes wrong, you know. So,
right.
Quintero, Puerto Rican, an absolutely beast at what she does, a tremendous person, hard worker, I mean, a huge contributor to basketball in the country and also in the continent.
Rivera with 3 to shoot. Now into the corner. Here's De Jesus. His shot is no good. Rebound Negron, but now Butler steals it. Capos to Amigo. Throws the alley-oop to Capos. Capos banks it in off the glass and is going to go to the line to try to complete the 3-point play. Capos and Amigo sharing a smile after that one. What an athletic play by Sasha Capos to control his body, bank it in off the glass, and then fall in a manner so that he doesn't get hurt.
And that's what we talk about, how, you know, Daniel Amigo, unselfish player. You know, he saw his man running wide, he trusted him, threw it up top, and beautiful finish by Capos.
Biggest lead of the game now, 15 points, as Omot hits from outside at the other end. 6:40 to play, second quarter. A couple of other games going on at BSN tonight. San Germán Fajardo, Bayamón Carolina, as Spotsville scores from in close, and Guayama Arecibo. We'll get you updates on those games as well. There's Lopez. Back out to Omot. 7 to shoot. Poked out of bounds. It'll stay with Ponce. 6 on the shot clock. Lopez gets it in. Here's Marvin Jones. Working on Amigo, shoots it up over Amigo. His shot rings out. Rebound Spotsville. Humacao looking for their biggest lead of the game. To Amigo. Tried to flip that pass over his head to Butler, but could not get it through the defense. And Amigo, that should be an unsportsmanlike as he pushed the player from behind to prevent him from getting the layup off.
And that's why the argument here too. They also think that Butler perhaps, it did look like he had the wind up. Let's see here, that trailer, Amigo kind of got him. You see right there, yeah. What happened was Butler, with the wind up, and he was going to try to go for the ball.
Yeah.
Obviously missed it and hit him in the back. So let's see what the interpretation is. And it might be right. It might be excessive contact, and it should be unsportsmanlike, 2 free throws plus the ball.
I think if they're going to get the unsportsmanlike, I think it'll be on Amigo for the push. I don't think Butler was trying anything dirty or dangerous, but that's what the officials are going to look at on the replay. I think it's just a matter of who they're going to give the foul to. Of course, they could give Amigo the unsportsmanlike, and then I wonder if they could give Butler the shooting foul. I don't think I've ever seen that before, but who's to say you couldn't?
Yeah, it could happen. You could have a double foul in a play, okay? In this case here, let's see if we can take this is not the replay, as a beautiful spin move that time, but most likely they're taking a review, Craig, just to make sure they get the call right, and it might be either on Amigo with the push from the back. That didn't seem like it was too much, and perhaps it was Nathaniel Butler there, which when you see Capos nearly good concentration to fall, at least put one leg down when he was coming down. As we see here, yes, it is an unsportsmanlike foul as they're clearing out the free throw lanes. Let's just make sure that we see who that was on.
Jones misses the first. Hits the second. Waiting for the stat page to update on the play-by-play to see. Okay, so it was Butler on the unsportsmanlike. So they got Butler for the swipe rather than Amigo for the push. Not sure I agree with it, but either way, it was an unsportsmanlike on one of them. And now Capos with the foul.
What happened, Craig, is that these type of plays, sometimes they can be, the division between one part of the game and the next. So you get Jones, you hit him, he's already hot in the game, already got, a lot going for him. So he knocks down the free throw, and then the next play down, they run a pick and roll, drop it to him. He hops into the lane, able to get the 2 points, now going for a 3-point play. So all of a sudden your lead, they could be a 4-point. Yes, it is the 4-point offense that time, with Jones. So these are the type of plays that you want to keep your cool and not, kind of go into a situation where you blow out your lead.
This might be a situation where Pedro Gonzalez takes time out. If Ponce gets another bucket here, sit him down and say, hey, guys, you're still up 8 or 10 points. Let's not let the wheels come off here. So Amigo into the lane, back outside. Bilardo from 20, splash that one. So it's back to 12. Maybe that timeout's not needed, and stolen away by Bilardo after Horton pokes it out of there. Bilardo for 3, a little too strong. Horton could not get the rebound away from Negron, and here comes Ponce back the other way.
That's where the maturity comes in. They had a 3-on-2, And Luis Rivera just stopped for that long three, you know, and I know we see a lot of analytics nowadays talk about that, but I'm old school. Take that ball to the rim.
My goodness, what a beautiful pass by Nathaniel Butler to lead Gabby Bilardo. He can't convert the layup, but he is going to go to the free throw line for a pair. What a beautiful pass. Just led Gabby Bilardo perfectly. So Bilardo will go to the free throw line for a pair, and Bilardo a 73% free throw shooter on the season, Victor.
And textbook, you know, as soon as your team has the ball, Bilardo was able to leak out, you know, full speed down the court, and Nathaniel Butler with the textbook fast break. First thing what you do was when you control the ball is you look up, see if there's somebody open. In that case, he did. You saw Bilardo just kind of threw it over the top of both the defender lines, and Bilardo, let's see if he can knock both of these down.
The great thing about that pass, Victor, was that Bilardo hadn't leaked out yet. Butler knew that he was going to beat his guy down the floor, so he just threw it down there. Just a great play by Nathaniel Butler. 47-33, coming up on 4.5 minutes to play in this first half. Humacao has led the entire way after starting off the game on a 9-0 run. Ponce got it to within one at 9-8, but they have gotten no closer. Here's Oma. Gets his own rebound and gets the putback.
Long strides, just able to 1-2 down the lane, and then afterwards go on that second jump for that rebound. Beautiful athletic play.
You know who he reminds me of a little bit? A guy that we saw by the name of DeAndre Ayton.
And we had the chance to see him upcoming, you know, as playing for the Bahamas national team there in the Centro Basket back in 2016, 2017. And absolutely right. Guys like this are just so much fun to watch, as we see there on the defensive end. Oma able to get the steal with his long arms, and then wide open, find his teammate for the open look. So I like to see, because a lot of the times, Craig, you know, when you're going down the lane, people teach you to go quick, people teach you to go hard. But sometimes if you just slow it down for a second, even on either the first or especially your second step, you're able to get more control and have more body balance to be able to finish around the basket.
Yeah, play fast, but play under control. Talk about the game slowing down sometimes when you do that. You don't have to run full speed with your hair on fire. Let's take a look at a couple of the other games going on in BSN tonight. San Germán leading Fajardo with 2:53 to play in the second quarter, 41-30. Carolina leading Bayamón 28-23. with 6:35 to play in the second. And Guayama and Arecibo just underway. Lead is 10 for Humacao. They led by as many as 15. Malcolm Miller back in the game now for Humacao. That was a nice job by the second unit for Humacao, Victor. They got the lead back to 14-15, dropped to 10, but I mean, that's exactly what you want your second unit to do.
Yeah, good job by the second unit. Now you bring in your starters once more. Can you finish the quarter? We talk about strong start, but as important, you see a beautiful pass by Amigo, beautiful three by Millers. Can you close the quarter out? So very important 3 minutes for them to keep building on this lead.
Already 50 points in the game for Humacao. We've seen them have some pretty good offensive outbursts this season. We've also seen them have good outbursts offensively, followed by slow fourth quarters. Let's see what they're able to do in this one as that ball gets kicked out of bounds by Spotsville. Three on the way is no good. Rebound fought for. Malcolm Miller was in there trying to battle for the rebound, and he gets called for the foul. And he says, come on, man, I was playing in the NBA.
Yes, he was. And what happens is in the NBA, you can't play zone. And in the FIBA rules, you can. And playing zone, Craig, you know, a lot of the times the toughest part is to box out, okay? Because you got to match up as soon as that ball goes up and who has who. And guys might have a little bit of leeway coming into that offensive rebound. So one of the toughest aspects of playing in zone like they are here, as they're going to count this three. I thought the time was off, but is the box out motion.
Count the bucket for Rosario. And the lead is back to 10. Pass intercepted. 3-on-3. DeJesus takes it himself, rolls out. Rebound taken away by Miller. Now Humacao's got the numbers. Bilardo gets his defender to fly by. Amigo the rebound on the miss. Another three by Miller, no. Looked like his arm got hit on that shot. And now Omot into the lane. Spotsville called for the foul. The lead is 10 with 2:10 to play in this second quarter.
They might have a case. It seems like Spotsville actually beat him to the spot, even though he was in motion. Omot kind of extended his left arm a little bit, but you know, this is one of the toughest calls in basketball. It's quick. Referees got to make a decision in a fraction of a second. So, you know, It is sometimes a 50-50 play. So, understandably so. But I thought Spotsville actually beat him to the spot, and Omar extended his arm.
First free throw up and good for Omot.
And I tell you what, if that was on the floor, and this is only the 14th foul, not sure why he's shooting unless it's the 15th foul and hasn't been updated yet on our scoreboard. But interesting play. Definitely gonna check back on that one. Yes, it is. So you see right there, 15 foul for Humacao. That's why he was shooting. Because if it was called on the floor and not the continuation for the three-point play, then definitely he should not have been on the line.
I did not notice that. That's why you are the best color man in the business. Horton for three. A little strong. Inside 2 minutes. Ponce has cut the lead to 8. Here comes Omot again. Got Miller in the air. Missed. Miller gets the rebound. Nicely done by Nathaniel Butler. Nearly steals the inbound pass. And another three by Ponce. That one was Mike Rosario. He hits again. And the lead's down to 7. Bilardo around the Horton screen. Back to Horton. Now on the handoff to Miller. Shot clock at 8. Miller takes it himself and gets it. Miller now with 14.
Try to extend their defense a little bit, you know, try to make Humacao's life a little bit tougher. They got to do exactly that, as they cannot give up. Rosario, that's his third three-pointer, and a back-to-back, that was DeJesus that time. But, you know, if you're Humacao, you have got to match the physicality with physical play and take that ball to the hoop.
40 seconds to play, second quarter. Lead cut down to 6. Now Bilardo gets it to Horton. He launches a three, no good. Rebound Amigo, back to Horton. Horton has the shot blocked. But he's going to go to the free throw line. Horton, a 79% free throw shooter on the season. 30 seconds left. Foul, I believe, was on Rosario. And Ponce, a couple of the players were wondering why that was not an offensive foul. I think Rosario's feet were in that restricted area.
Yep, that's what the referee called. As soon as he put his fist up with the foul motion, he pointed towards the ground, like saying,
I saw that too.
Restricted area. So good catch by the referees.
Horton hits the first free throw. And gets them both. So Wilhelmus Cruz calls timeout with 30.7 seconds to play. Humacao gets the lead back to 8. Both teams shooting very well. Humacao 57% from the floor, 68% from two-point range, 43% from three. Ponce 45% overall, 54% from two-point range, and just 30% from three-point range. It sure seems like they've gotten more than 4 three-pointers, but seven three-pointers. They're 7 of 16. I think they've gotten 4 of their last 5. Ponce 5 of 5 from Ponce, 10 of 14 from the free throw line. Humacao 5 of 5 from the stripe.
And the zone has been working nicely for Humacao so far. You know, you would expect Ponce to take a little bit of to adapt to it. Even though you practice, you have a few plays against the zone. What happens, Craig, is, you know, the majority of time, 80, 90% of the at this level, you will see man-to-man defense. So day in and day out, that's what you're accustomed to go to. So when a team proposes to go to a 2-3 or a 3-2 zone or a matchup zone for a large stretch of time, like they did here for the whole second quarter, it really takes a little bit off the offensive rhythm to adapt to it. So they did a good job. Humacao, that was. They just gave up a few open three-pointers here in the end.
Rosario hits from 3 again. And the lead down to 5. Clock at 3. Bilardo from 35 draws the foul. Gabby Bilardo will go to the free throw line for 3 free throws with 1/10 of a second left. And you see Marvin Jones saying he kicked his foot out. No, he did not. He absolutely did not kick his foot out.
And Marvin Jones should know better. You know, the man is shooting the ball from a very far away, even though he is a great three-point shooter. Just contest that play. You know, you see right there, clock winding down, broken play, did not have anything to draw, and just you put one of the best free throw shooters here with the free trip to the line, shooting 3. So not a good read that time by Jones.
Marvin Jones grew up in my neck of the woods, Harvey, Illinois, near Chicago in the south suburbs. Went to Texas Southern, graduated in 2017. Bilardo hits all 3 free throws, and the second quarter will come to an end with Humacao on top, 59-51. Just an offensive explosion in this first half for Humacao. Ponce, 51 points, not too shabby. So Bilardo finishes the first half with 16 points. Malcolm Miller, 14. Ken Horton, 7. Daniel Amigo and Darian Spotsville each with 4. Amigo added 4 rebounds. Spotsville, Horton, and Amigo each with 4 assists. Sasha Campos, 6 points. Nathaniel Butler, 2. And Luis Colon with 2 points. That rounds out the scoring. Beg your pardon. Luis Rivera had 5 points in that first half. For Ponce, Marvin Jones, 17 points and 6 rebounds in that first half. Mike Rosario, 13 points on 3 of 5 shooting from three-point range. Yesrael De Jesus, 5 points. Anunwa Omot, 8 points and 4 rebounds. Jordan Murphy has 2 points. Christian Negron has 3. And Jonathan Ocasio has 3. And that rounds out the scoring for Ponce. 59-51 at halftime. Humacao leads Ponce. We are back live from Humacao in just one moment.
Ahora se puede con un préstamo personal de la Cooperativa Oriental. Ponte al día con tus metas financieras con un cómodo pago mensual que tienes hasta 90 días para hacer el primer pago. Llama al 787-418-2021. Cooperativa de Ahorro y Crédito Oriental, la alternativa de todo un pueblo.
Welcome back to Coliseo Marcelo Trujillo Panisse in beautiful Humacao, where the host Grises lead Leones de Ponce 59-51 at halftime. Humacao has led the entire way. Biggest lead of the game was 15 points. They started the game off on a 9-0 run. Ponce answered with an 8-0 run. That's their biggest run of the game. There you see some of the first half numbers. Humacao with a 3 rebound advantage and 4 assist advantage. Steals and blocks in favor of Los Leones. Humacao shooting 57% overall, 22 of 38 shooting. 15 of 22 from two-point range for 68%. 7 of 16 from three-point range for 43%. 8 of 8 from the free throw line. In that first half, Humacao just 3 turnovers. For Ponce, 47% overall, 18 of 38 shooting. 13 of 24 from two-point range, 5 of 14 from three-point range, although the bulk of those came in the latter stages of that second quarter. As we look at some of the first half highlights, Ponce was 10 of 14 from the free throw line. Ponce also took very good care of the ball in the first half, committing just 1 turnover. Humacao with the points in the paint advantage, 22-20. Fast break points even at 9 apiece. Humacao's bench outscoring Ponce's, the tune of 15-6. And second chance points, a 10-8 advantage for Humacao. Alongside my partner, Victor Mansoure, I'm Craig Fada. Glad you can be with us wherever you're tuned in from, around the Americas or around the world. Victor, a very, very hot Humacao team in this first half, 59 points. You can't think that that kind of blistering shooting will continue in the second half. So what does Humacao have to do in the second half, assuming their shooting cools off, to try to hold off Ponce the rest of the way?
Well, Craig, that's a great question. What happened was in this first half, Humacao was just able to get to their spots, okay? I thought that Ponce did not put any ball pressure, allowed Humacao to get into their spots, get into their rhythm, and that has translated into this hot shooting in the first half. When we talked about, a couple of the key aspects for tonight's game, not only the hot shooting, but also winning the point in the paint battle. And they have. They got 22 points in the paint, so they've been able to hurt Ponce inside with their play. We saw Amigo inside. We saw Berlardo get there a few times. Nathaniel Butler as well. So good job. Horton got there too. And also they was able to knock down their outside shots. We talked about Gabriel Berlardo being in the mix. He's one of their main leaders, and they really need to get him going. And he had himself a very good first half. So that's good to see. We talked about keeping Ponce under that 40% margin from shooting, and they were doing that. When they went into the zone, it kind of took Ponce off a little bit, and there was just two things that they could have done better. One was obviously focusing on Jones, number 24, Ponce. He had himself a good first half, and then in the end here, in the back end of the second quarter, Ponce was able to knock down about 4 3-pointers that really cut this lead a little bit. If it wasn't for those 4-3, a couple of them from Mike Rosario, one of them from De Jesus, if it wasn't from those 3-pointers, they would definitely have a bigger lead, okay? Now, the question is, to answer your question, is can you be consistent, okay? You expect Ponce here to make the adjustment, come out being more aggressive on the defensive end, so you're gonna have to match that. Match that how? Good spacing, okay? You gotta make sure that you cover the court, giving people room. Good timing, because sometimes when you're playing a pick and roll, or when you're making your move, if the guy cuts at the right time, you're able to find him a slash or even find him in the corner, okay? So spacing, timing, and fundamentals, right? So you got to be able to open up, make the good passes, make the good reads, and most importantly, match the physicality. If Ponce comes out strong, trying to be the aggressor, you're playing at home, you're Humacao. You're the ones that, this is what the La Fanaticada is looking for, that you do play hard. So you got to match that. You got to match that physicality to keep yourself in rhythm, to get those shots and get into the free throw lines, and also playing in transition. So great first half, 59 points, on a 20-minute quarter is outstanding. Let's make sure that they can keep it up. And if Ponce comes out being the aggressor, they got to make the adjustment. But interesting to see if Pedro Gonzalez will keep his zone or not, because it actually worked out for them. And I like that, Craig. What happens sometimes when you're playing zone at this level, after a team knocks down two or three of the outside shots, teams tend to give up on it, and go back to a man-to-man quickly. But Pedro Gonzalez didn't do that. Saw that was working. Let's see if they can do that again, kind of throwing Ponce off their rhythm. Interesting second half. Let's see what the adjustment will both teams make.
One player we did not see in the first half for Humacao, Timaj Parker Rivera. We did not get any word before the game that he was out with any injury or anything, so we will continue to try to keep an eye on that. He had 17 points, 12 rebounds, and 6 assists in Humacao's last game against Fajardo. But he has not seen action in this game so far, nor has Lorenzo Jenkins or Melvin Millett. Jenkins, one of the new additions to Humacao here in the last couple of weeks. He's played in 6 games for the Grays, averaging 3.8 points per game. So we will try to get some information on why those gentlemen are not seeing any action tonight. Meanwhile, the players on the floor for Humacao really getting it done so far. 59 points in the first half. And I think, Victor, we've seen Humacao with some pretty big point outbursts, but I don't think we've seen anything like this all season long. Malcolm Miller with 14 points in that first half. Gabby Villardo with 15. And when you put Bilardo on the floor at the same time as Luis Rivera, which we saw through quite a bit of that first half, Ponce has a hard time covering those outside shooters.
Yeah, and that's what
they can both drive. They can both shoot from the outside and drive and dish.
They can. And when these guys get going early, when they see the ball go through the hoop once or twice, especially Gabriel Velardo, they're all-star, that builds his confidence. We know this is a guy that plays with lots of confidence already, but when you see it go through the hoop early, it kind of opens up a little bit. It gives you a little bit of daylight. Right now, you can either knock down the shot yourself or you can pump fake, go to the basket. So good job by Gabriel Velardo being aggressive in the first half with his jump shot. We like to see him have volume. This is a guy that needs to be plugged in the game, so he showed that there. Also, the addition of Miller. This is a guy that can hurt you in different ways. A great ball player, Malcolm Miller is. We see him knock down the outside shots. He's got 14 points, like you mentioned. He's made 4 threes, but he's athletic enough. He's got fundamental enough to also get himself going towards the basket. So great addition by Coach Pedro Gonzalez in adding him to the roster. So it's good to see that those 2 guys have it going. And once you got guys going, Craig, they're kind of pushing through. They're leading you. Then other guys will follow. Okay, so good job by those 2 guys. See if they can keep it up in the second half.
And you can tell Malcolm Miller is a true pro. Did not take him very long at all to fit into the flow here in Humacao. And he looks perfectly comfortable on both the offensive and defensive end. He never looks like he's doing anything out of rhythm, never looks like he's out of place. 29-year-old from Gaithersburg, Maryland, graduate of Holy Cross in 2015. Came over from Vinoli Cremona in LBA Serie A in Italy, where he was averaging 9.3 points per game up through January, then came over and started playing for Humacao just a couple of weeks ago. This is his 4th game with Los Grises. And we'll see how long he stays here. He's a good-looking player. Hope he spends some time here in beautiful Humacao. Speaking of LBA Serie A, if you follow international basketball, Virtus Segafredo Bologna defeated Olimpia Milano in Game 5 of the finals to draw that series to 3-2 in favor of Milano. Game number 6 will be Saturday. As Milano looks to stop Bologna from winning back-to-back titles. Victor, go ahead.
Yeah, back-to-back titles, and I also hope that people are not tuning into the NBA Finals tonight. They make sure that they stay plugged into us. And I'm glad that you mentioned there Gettysburg and Maryland, just a hotbed of basketball, Craig. You got Holy Cross, you have DeMatha, you have Gonzaga High School. I mean, talk about one of so many key basketball players have come from that DMV region. So good to see Miller as well. We've seen Victor Oladipo. We've seen Kevin Durant. Just guys that come from this hotbed of basketball up in the DMV. So Malcolm Miller is another one of those.
DMV meaning Delaware, Maryland, Virginia, not Department of Motor Vehicles. We're underway here in the second half. Glad you can be with us wherever you're tuned in from, around the Americas or around the world. He's Victor Mansouri. I'm Craig Feda. Malcolm Miller launches another 3. That one just rattles out.
As they start with a man-to-man, let's see if sometimes they just trick you. They go the first few possession man, and they go right back into the zone. Let's see what Pedro Gonzalez does.
Jordan Murphy starts the second half on the bench for Ponce. Christian Negron on the floor instead. And it's 59-53. Miller, little hesitation move, puts up the wide open three. That one missed. But a whistle away from the shot. That's going to be on Marvin Jones.
Marvin Jones once again just got caught up in challenging the play too close, getting into Miller's cylinder. Now, interesting to see a three-point opportunity for Miller as he misses the first one. So Jones obviously got to make the adjustment there, as that's his second foul on the shooter.
Boy, and I missed that. I didn't think he got that close to the shooter. I thought that occurred away from the ball, but I believe that's 3 fouls now on Marvin Jones. So the lead back to 8, 61-53. Rosario thought about another 3 there, but Bilardo closed. Ball poked away by Amigo. Bilardo nearly came away with it. Bounce pass inside to Negron, and he scores from in close.
And this is what happens in professional basketball, Craig. A broken up play creates an advantage where you have kind of like a mini 2-on-1, 3-on-2. So good ball sharing by Ponce at that time. They got into the man up top, and he played a high-low and found the man right open down middle.
Beautiful feed from Spotsville to Amigo. He gets fouled on the way up and comes away.
Shaking up because we've seen him.
Yeah, he got hit in the face
with a mask.
Yeah, I think this is his first game without it, and he takes one in the grill.
That's right. So they're going to take a review on that. Hopefully he's okay here. It's nothing but a hit, because you hate to see that. You know, you're playing with the protection for a reason. As soon as you take it away, you know, it becomes a target. So definitely let's see what the referees are going to call here. And remember, in the first half, we saw kind of a similar play, just a wind up and a hard hit to the back. This time he gets Amigo right in the grill, like you said. Let's see what the referees call and what the lineup is.
Very quickly, we'll look at a couple of the other scores. San Germán leading Fajardo, 6:45 to play in the third period, 52-44. Carolina leading Bayamón at halftime, 43-38. And still no score yet posted for Guayama and Arecibo. Wonder if there's some sort of delay there.
Yeah, they're being consistent with the call, trying to protect the player. So they call it unsportsmanlike in the first half. They call it here as well, as Amigo got hit right into the face. So good job by the referees and try to protect the player. You know, this is something, obviously, you want to play hard, but you also want to keep the game clean. So good job by them in making sure that that happens.
And again, in both cases where the unsportsmanlikes were called, I don't think there was any dirty or ill intent by either player on either side. It's just a function of the game sometimes, and sometimes it's just a hard foul that goes the wrong way, and you take the unsportsmanlike and you go on from there.
Absolutely.
Bilardo drives baseline, 3 from the corner. That's good! Malcolm Miller scores from downtown again, and the lead is back to 10.
Baseline drive and baseline drift. Beautiful feed by Bilardo. Finally, Miller with his foot set, able to knock down the short 3, the corner 3.
Another rebound for Horton. Spotsville misses the jumper, and Amigo called for the foul. .740 to play, third quarter.
Humacao started on that man-to-man. Now they have switched into that zone. So they kind of showed a man-to-man defense to start, and now they're right back into that 2-3.
Victor, talk about, as a player, how easy or how difficult that is to switch, at least mentally, from the zone to man and back.
Well, at this point of the season, you would expect Humacao to have this sharp, right? This is something that you practice day in and day out right there. They do give way too much room on the free throw line and on that baseline little baby hook there by Mike Rosario. So you got to be ready for that adjustment, okay? This is something that you practice. Now, on the other hand, if you're Ponce, like we said, the majority of the time you are practicing or you playing against a man-to-man. So even though you might practice against, when you see it in the game on the zone, it does take a little bit. The majority of your play calls are against man-to-man. The majority of your rhythm shots, you know, what you've gone through the whole season are against man. So when you see zone, I think this is the strategy here from Pedro Gonzalez. They try to throw Ponce completely off their sets.
It looks like Ponce got away with one there. It looked like Spotsville was pushed from behind, turned it over, no call, and that results in Ponce getting the ball and a bucket at the other end. Bilardo, a little hesitation move. Pretty move by Gabby Bilardo. And then at the other end, De Jesus goes right around Luis Colon and scores. 67,
right,
61 now.
Back-to-back plays where they put Colon to be the defender on that pick and roll, and then the guards have just been able to go around him. So good adjustment by Ponce and able to pick up that mismatch.
Spotsville on the drive, draws the foul. Mike Rosario wasn't too pleased with that, but the official had the same view as our camera right there and saw it as clearly as we did.
Yeah, and if he wants to be upset at something, be upset the fact that he gave your man a straight line drive towards the middle. That's exactly what you want to take away and push guys to the baseline or to the sideline or towards the middle. Then he was just too late as we saw him clearly reach in for the foul.
And now Bilardo bumped. Now that I think about it, you may be right. Rosario may also have been expecting some help because he clearly committed that foul. He could not have been upset at the call itself.
Could not. And what about the fact that we see Gabi Bilardo able to cover so much room going to his right, Greg? You know, for the young ones out there watching out there, he's able to do his 1-2 step into it and actually take a right-hand dribble. So sometimes you catch the ball at the 45 and he can take his fade away or his shots almost going baseline. It's a beautiful play to watch, curling into his right.
Pass inside to Carlos Yao Lopez. He scores and it's down to 4. Bilardo to Horton, thought about the 3. Gets pushed down by Omot, no call. Here comes Miller. And the blocking call on Omot. Not so sure about that one.
Yeah, and the refs kind of took a second to make sure they got it right. You see there, I think, yeah, I would agree with you. They might review it here. Actually, let's see what it is. Because, you know, he definitely had his feet set and he was outside the restricted area. Yeah. Once again, this is a tough call. This is a very tough call to make. So they're going to review it here and they might overrule it.
Yeah, the block charge is the most difficult call. I thought that one was pretty clear, but at least they're going to review it and get it right. There was a hesitation. The whistle blew, and then there was a little hesitation. And the official realized, well, I got to call something, so I'll call the block. And I think immediately he may realize that that was the wrong call.
And sometimes, Greg, they will look around to kind of see, okay, did you have primary? Yep. Do you have something? And once they don't, then they will make a call there. But I like the adjustment here by the FIBA rules and even by BSN are allowing guys to go and check this out just to make sure they get it right because it is a call that you need technology to help you out.
Boy, how about that view by our camera right there? And and they're going to change it. Offensive foul. Once again, our officials tonight, Senores Quinones, Vasquez, and De La Rosa. And we both thought after the first replay, it was pretty clear that it was an offensive foul. I thought it was offensive from the get-go, but either way, glad to see the officials getting it right. And you're like me, Victor, just because, you know, we're the home broadcasters for Humacao, we're not going to say that, well, the officials blew that one just because it went against Humacao. They got it right.
Got it
we
right.
Don't like it, but they got it right.
Got it right. That's what the referees are for, to make the game neutral, make the game fair, you know, call the right plays. And that time they used technology to their advantage. It was a charge, so good job by them in overruling it.
Now Bilardo fouled as he tried to get the pass to Luis Colon. And I believe that's the 15 foul for Ponce. It is, with 5:14 to play in the third, Victor. Humacao's going to go to the free throw line the rest of the way on common fouls.
And bailout call there. He was trying to, Bilardo was getting trapped. So he went with the over-the-head pass, trying to find Colon. But actually, the easier play might have been if he had swung the ball over to his left side. He had a man open there at the trailer, you know. But, you know, the referee saw contact, number 23, hit him in the arm. So Humacao will be shooting here with a lot of time left in the third. We'll be shooting the rest of the way.
Bilardo hits the first free throw. Humacao on the game, 12 of 14 from the stripe so far. Gabby hits them both, and it's back to a 6-point lead. 5:10 to play third quarter. Humacao's led the entire way. Led by as many as 15 in the first half. Good defense by Gabby on De Jesus, the second leading scorer in BSN, at 18.5 points per game.
And De Jesus, great defense indeed, because De Jesus hit him with all kinds of move, going right, going left, between his legs, hesitation. And they were able to keep up, and then just almost came up with the ball. I hit Capo's knee there in the end, so 6 on the shot clock.
Stolen away, no, stolen back. 3 on the way, no, rebound Miller. And you know, Bilardo and De Jesus have been battling for a while, as Ken Horton wanted the goaltend called there. That sure looked like it was off the glass and off the rim before it got wiped off. No call. Yao misses from in close. And I'm sure we'll get another look at that previous sequence.
At this time, I think the referees kind of oversaw that one. It did hit the backboard first. So once it hit the backboard, you're not allowed to hit, as we see here, the goaltend on the other end, as Capos kind of hit it from underneath the basket.
Yeah.
Not allowed to do that. But the play before, I thought so too. Should have been a goaltend.
Capos for 3. Splash that one. Capos gave him 2, but he gets 3 back. Now De Jesus, guarded by Horton, picked up now by Bilardo. Cross court to Omut. He launches the 3, misses badly. Horton the rebound. Now Spotsville handing it off to Bilardo, to Horton. Pulls up. Jumper was short. Gets his own rebound. Taps it to Campos. Now into the corner. Back to Miller, and Miller slows it back down. Shot clock at 7. Here's Bilardo asking for some help. Back to Miller. Long 3. A little too strong. Murphy's three misses. Rebounded by Bilardo. Cross court to Horton. His three is up. Short. Gets his own rebound. Floater won't go. Now a three at the other end. That's through. Rosario scoring again from long range. Rosario has 4 3-point buckets on the night. Horton into the corner. Back to Miller. Back to Horton. Shot clock at 7. Miller driving. Has his pocket picked. And then Horton steals it from Omot. Bilardo takes it all the way himself. Into the corner for 3. Short. And now a 3-on-1. Spotsville forces the miss. What a defensive play by Darian Spotsville. A 3-on-1 for Ponce, and Spotsville all by himself turns it away.
Good job by Spotsville there, making the read, did not commit early, knew that a pass was coming, Craig, and just jumped vertically with his 2 hands and had enough just to challenge the play until help came along and they ended up getting the possession. Now, Craig, on the other end, a couple of offensive sequences that were not very good. They had a lot of shots at the basket. Horton had a few that were looking a bit short, so let's see if they can get a better shot here as they desperately need to finish out this quarter on a strong note.
5 minutes inside. Easy lay-in. Victor, if it's one, we can look back to the 2:09 mark of that third quarter here when Spotsville forced that miss. If Ponce scores there, it's a 2-point game.
Yeah, Craig, and you know what the great thing about it is that play will actually, not going to open through side, that play will actually not be on the stat sheet, I touched it if he a missed shot, 100% that could be a deal breaker going forward.
Ponce has got it to 3. 3-pointer. Miller on the drive. Out to Luisito. In among the trees. High off the glass. No, but did it. Back to 5. 76-71. Omot. The shot misses, but therefore the putback is Lopez. Now here comes Jesus. And that's a good foul there by Malcolm Miller.
Yeah, good heads-up play, knowing that you only have the 3 team fouls. De Jesus coming full speed, it seemed right there. Set him up with the left, crossover quickly between his leg going right. So good job by Miller fouling him. And on the other hand, on the other side, though, I'll tell you what, he was able to have Humacao. Okay, they had a lead, completely gone, so you definitely got to start getting some stops, and rebounding the ball.
Omot misses the 3. Humacao will hold for the last shot. Shot clock is off. Game clock now at 14. Here comes Rivera. Clock at 8. Now 7. Horton setting up the screen. Luisito from long range misses. Horton could not get the tip, and we'll go to the fourth quarter with Humacao on top by 3, 76-73. Can Humacao hold on? Stay tuned and find out. We're back with fourth quarter action live from Humacao in just a couple of moments.
Ahora se puede con un préstamo de la Cooperativa Oriental. Ponte con tus tus metas financieras con un cómodo pago mensual que tienes hasta 90 días para hacer el primer pago. Llama al 787-418-2021. Cooperativa de Ahorro y Crédito Oriental, la alternativa de todo un pueblo.
(76-73) as we head to the fourth quarter. Humacao looking for their 8th win on the season. They've already more than doubled last season's output as we look at some of the team numbers on this one. Humacao with a 3 rebound and 2 assist advantage. Ponce the advantage in steals and blocks. For Humacao, Malcolm Miller has 21 points. Gabby Velardo has 19. No other players in double figures. Ken Horton the closest with 9. Horton also with 6 rebounds. For Ponce, Yisrael De Jesus with 11. Michael Rosario 21 on 5 of 9 shooting from three-point range. Marvin Jones with 17. And now an offensive foul called on Ponce.
And that's where you see Spotsville at his best, able to slide. You see right there, as soon as he saw the man was going to come up top, he was going to come up top with him. And then Lopez with the moving screen. So Spotsville, like you said, man, just brings so much on the defensive end. And I think second, his playing increased tremendously here in the second part of the season.
They're offensively. Here comes Murphy, spinning his way to the bucket, misses. Campos the rebound. Lead back to 5. Amigo. To Rivera, back to Amigo. Out to
Luis Rivera, this time he had the shot. He decided not to take it. It bounced the ball inside Amigo with that unselfish play that we know well, and able to cross court pass to the 45 to Campos, and Campos with a beautiful set shot that he has and just knocks it down.
Campos again for 3. Yes! Sasha Campos from long range one more time. My goodness. Just like that, back to 11 at 84-73. That basket. Another great play, but forced the miss. There's the first bucket by Spotsville, the first 3 by Campos. Now the drive and dish. Campos, splash.
You know, when Campos, the great shooter that he is, he's able to get feet set and playing that position that's going to so many other coming. Campos is X factor time with his outside shooting. But I'm glad that you brought once again Spotsville, you know, just a guy that brings on both sides of the floor, that get the push the ball up ahead. And what happens, Greg, is the more you play, you have that playing time, you start to build confidence, you know. So you start strength. You'll be able to get lane with a floater, and this time push the ball ahead and hit Capos with an absolute beautiful stroke from the outside.
Lead had been cut to 3 at 76-73 heading into the fourth quarter. And an 8-0 run to start this fourth quarter. Same way Humacao started the game, on a 9-0 run. And now Ponce turns it over. Christian Negron can't handle the close-in pass.
And that was forced by that zone. You know, you go dribble it in, and all of a sudden you're have enough.
Nathaniel with a Jordan-esque move there. Little double clutch scoop reverse.
That's right. Took him up top, up vertically, and then on the challenge, able to bring it down, finish with his offhand. Jordan is like it is. Beautiful play.
Rosario with the miss. Lead is 13. Inside 7.5 minutes to play. Humacao doing this with Miller and Bellardo on the bench. Butler into the lane again. As a shot blocked by Marvin Jones. DeJesus goes up over Capos and scores. As we cross the 7-minute mark. Spotsville has his dunk attempt blocked by Marvin Jones. Now the long baseball pass to Rosario. He finally on 3. Comes Rivera driving on Butler. Runs into Capos. To Butler.
Nathaniel Butler has a case here. He got a foul because he's frustrated.
Yeah, he did.
Last time down, a similar play where he played hard and the man challenged him up top. You see right there, up in that, this exact play right here, and there was no foul call. So then on the other end, you know, Nathaniel Butler plays with the same intensity. I didn't think it was a foul either. So I understand the frustration, you know, it's happening now with 6:36 to go and they're up by 11. Clock is free to say be consistent on both ends and call the same.
San Germán leading Fajardo 76-71 with 6:36 to play in the fourth quarter. Leading Bayamón 62-56 with 1:01 to play in the third. And we're not certain with what's going on with Guayama and Arecibo, but that game is any scores. Don't know if the game was delayed or if there's just a technical problem pushing the scores. Both free throws good. 86-78, and now some full court pressure by Ponce, broken easily. Now Miller nearly has it stolen away, gets it back. Shot clock at 7. Luisito for three, air ball, rebounded by Carlos Rivera. Campos with the block.
Beautiful play here by Campos, challenging Omot upstairs. As you see there, did not give up on the play, just got him cleaning, and afterwards swiped it, and it hit Ponce as well. So Campos bringing in some very valuable minutes. With 5:53 to go here, you know, they're giving Luisito Rivera another opportunity to try to mature on the spot, but definitely not a good decision making last trip down. And we have seen this happen a couple times during the season. Hopefully the young man can, you know, mature fast.
Gets it to Miller, back to Rivera, now into the corner. Campos had an open look at three, but didn't catch the pass cleanly. Now here's Spotsville at the other end for three. No. And is that going to be a foul on Marvin Jones?
I think it was Rivera there with the push in the back, number 31. The referee signaling on the spot. So yeah, Carlos Rivera gets called for that push. It happens a lot on the backside of rebounds. Guys not in the right position and just try to get away with pushing in the back.
Rivera nearly turns that one over, but it goes out of bounds. It'll stay with Ponce, or rather it'll stay with Humacao. And are they going to review this? I think they are. And Pedro Gonzalez says, let's get Gabby Bilardo back in there. A little bit more experience down the stretch. And they are going to review to see exactly what happened here. It looked to me by that last full speed replay that Rivera went to pass the ball and it went off the leg of Omot. $86-78, 5:34 to play. As we check in on a couple of the other games going on in BSN tonight. San Germán leading Fajardo 80-71, 5:37 to play in the fourth quarter. Carolina and Bayamón. Carolina leading 62-56 heading into the fourth. And no score between Guayama and Arecibo. Not sure the game ended up not starting or if it's just a technical glitch in pushing the scores. We'll assume the latter. And if they can't tell exactly what happened here, the original call was that it's going to stay with Humacao. So if they can't tell what happened here, Humacao will keep possession.
You would definitely need enough evidence to overrule a call. If not, then the call stands, and it does stay here. It will be Ponce's, it will be Humacao's possession. And this is a crucial moment of the game here, Craig. 5:34 to go. You're up by 8. If you can control this game here for the next 2 to 3 minutes, then you put yourself in a position to close it out. So with the 8-point advantage, 5:32 to go, and possession, these are important minutes coming up.
Campos could not hit that three. Jesus gets the offense set up. That three is up and good. Marvin Jones scores.
Too much room that time. We've seen Jones hurt them from that middle spot, middle angle, you know, top of the key type the whole game. That time, even though he was on a three-point line, he didn't give him too much room, and he can knock it down.
Bilardo gets it taken away by Luis Lopez. He kicks it out. 3 on the way. Short. Rebound. Spotsville fights for it, but I think it's going to go off of him. It will. It'll stay with Ponce.
As we see here, a lot of emotions to end the game. Both benches up, you know, arguing with the referees and the call. Important to keep your cool and try to execute. That time, Humacao caught a break on there was a 4-on-2 situation. Let's see if they can close out this defensive possession.
Shot clock at 5. Long 3 is up and good. Yesriel De Jesus hits a long three-pointer with the shot clock winding down. And now Pedro Gonzalez wants timeout.
And good timeout, because I'm over here rolling in my chair. You know, we talked about the importance of the next few minutes, and they go back-to-back threes to cut this lead into a 2-point game. And now with plenty of time to go, there's no more lead. So Humacao has got to buckle down again, get stops, and hopefully play in transition like this play from Capos, as they've had, you know, not the best trips down on the offensive end as of late.
Humacao has led this entire game, and we're having flashbacks to the loss to Bayamon. And Humacao led for about 39 minutes and 15 seconds of that game. Bayamon took their first lead with 1:05 to play in the game. Humacao's led the entire way in this one. They started off this fourth quarter on an 8-0 run to get the lead back to 11. Beg your pardon, they got it to 13 at 86-73. And now it's been an 11-0 run by Ponce to get it back to a 2-point game. 4:32 to play.
We knew this was coming.
And to quote John Lennon,
you know,
it's just like starting over. Yeah, we knew Ponce was going to make a run. They've made several in this game.
They've made several runs. This is a team that they got a winning records for a reason. They got great players like Jones, the guys that can put you back in the game like De Jesus. So this is something that definitely was expected. And now with 4:30 to go, can you play the last 4 minutes, probably about 10 to 8 possessions each team? Can you buckle down once more and finish this game strong and hopefully come out here with the win?
Spotsville gets it to Horton. Now inside to Miller, back out to Bilardo. 8 to shoot, back to Miller. Now Amigo. Amigo draws the foul as he was trying to get the pass to Darian Spotsville.
And they did exactly what needed to be done. They swung the ball around. They had a few open looks, but did not rush the shot. Got the ball inside, got the ball on the 45. That's what you do. You got to be patient and execute here in the end.
Miller gets it. Shot clock at 10. Bilardo to Miller to Amigo. Shot clock at 4. Miller for 3. No good. Rebound. Spotsville fights for it. Throws it off the leg of Omut, but they're going to say he stepped on the baseline before he came into contact with that ball, so it's going to be Ponce basketball. And as we come down the stretch time here,
it definitely looked like that
starters,
signal.
Yeah,
I read that too, Craig, but what happened was he was signaling that it hit Ponce and this possession was going to stay. So here it is.
Boy, that ball was halfway down for Malcolm Miller. So Spotsville did end up keeping it. And the gods decided that Malcolm Miller was not going to make that three-point bucket, and now an offensive foul called.
Like the last two possessions now. They've able to swing the ball around. They got it inside to Amigo. Amigo always looking over his shoulder to see if there's a guy cutting, see if there's a guy with good looks. That's how you're going to get something good out of that offensive play. So as you see here, Ponce now strategically, they're in a zone, kind of like a 3-2, similar to a matching zone. So interesting, trying to get Humacao off their rhythm.
And that was the 5th foul on Anunua Omot. So that's a big loss for Ponce down the stretch. 3 minutes to play. Carlos Rivera for 3. He could not give Ponce the lead. Gallardo to Amigo to Horton for 3. That's no good. Jesus, still plenty of time on the shot clock. Now a wide open Luis Lopez could not get the lead. Bilardo could not track down the rebound, but Ken Horton does. Now trapped along the sideline. Horton gets it back. Now to Miller. Off the glass, no. Rebounded by Negron. Humacao might have been good to just take that out and get the offense reset. Now at the other end, a foul. Not sure if that's going to be on Miller. Or if that's going to be on Spotsville. I think it's going to be on Miller.
Yeah, last trip down the court, a broken play. Miller actually had the lane, but was just concerned too much with Jones. Body searched him, you know, try to go into his body first. If he had gone perhaps strong with the two hands, he might have a better case, as De Jesus misses a clutch free throw, and Humacao desperately needs this. As we see both teams right here, Craig, really struggling to score in the last 2 minutes.
Jesus, an 84% free throw shooter on the season. It's the second. Horton gets it to Bilardo. Now back to Bilardo. 7 on the shot clock. To Amigo. Cross-court pass to Miller. Loses the defender. 3 on the way. A foul called on the three-point bucket attempt. Boy, how about that move by Malcolm Miller to get that three-pointer and draw the foul. That's on Luis Lopez. Lopez grabbed his jersey and everything.
Yeah, beautiful move by Miller, you know, going to his strong side, his right hand, and able to draw the foul. But I really want to highlight too, Craig, you know, Amigo, once he catches the ball down low, man, he's a very unselfish player, and actually had a no-look pass to find Miller in that position. And you don't see many bigs play like that, so great job by Daniel Amigo as well.
Daniel Amigo has almost a European touch to his game, the way he makes those touch passes.
Yeah, you know, and when you can play inside out like that, you know, really creates some good advantage, because the defense has to help. Then all of a sudden you're finding guys open in the perimeter, and that one was definitely the case.
Miller misses the second free throw. He misses 2 of 3. And it's a 2-point lead for Humacao, 1:35 to play in the fourth quarter. There's Marvin Jones, guarded by Amigo. Back up top to De Jesus. He loses Bilardo, drives on Amigo, and we're tied up at 87.
And Jesus able to go downhill, you know, even though with the high disadvantage, quick enough to get to his right, and beautiful bank shot.
Bilardo, shot clock at 8. And some miscommunication as Amigo didn't think that pass was coming to him. And an easy lay-in for Rosario. As he remains on the floor following the bucket, that gives Ponce the first lead of the game.
This is a reflection, Craig, you know, of a team that is being developed. Okay, this is a team that is progressing. First of all, you got to be competitive, and this they are, right? Humacao has been able to compete with everybody on the league pretty much here in Humacao and La H. So you're proud about that. Now the next step is, can you be competitive and finish the games off? All right. So we have seen them. This has happened against Bayamón. It's happening here tonight. They had an 8-point lead with about 5.5 to go. That's gone. Now they're down 2. Still plenty of time to get this win, but you have detected, okay, we got to know how to finish games off. That time, that last play was actually a perfect reflection of that. Gabi Berlado had the ball. Amigo was not even expecting, so you got to know what you're running in the end when it matters the most. And then after you start winning these games, then can you go into the playoff push? And then once you get that playoff experience, can you fight for title? So, you know, natural progression here for Humacao. So let's see if they can, you know, learn from their last game against Bayamón and come out, pull this game against Ponce and come out with the win.
89-87, Ponce with its first lead of the game. Humacao has led for 39 minutes and 1 second. Let's see if they can pull back on top and what Pedro Gonzalez has in his bag of tricks. Try to get Humacao another win here in La H. All 5 starters on the floor for Humacao: Spotsville, Miller, Bilardo, Horton, and Amigo.
Knowing that Ponce has gone into that zone last couple of possessions, I would kind of keep the same mentality, which is, you know, get the ball inside out and get cutters and shooters on the perimeter and try to explore that action.
And the officials telling the Ponce bench to sit down before he's going to let play start. Now we're ready. Horton gets it into Bilardo. Bilardo gets it back. Shot clock at 7. Screen by Amigo. Bilardo all the way to the rack. Has it blocked! Christian Negron with the block. Rosario with the outlet of the layup. And it's a 4-point lead now for Ponce.
No reason to panic. Enough time to get a good bucket here and then a stop.
Bilardo has it blocked again out of bounds, and it's going to stay with Humacao with 33.5 to play. Bilardo with 19 points. Horton to inbound, getting it to Bilardo. Long jumper, baseline is good.
The degree of difficulty on that shot, Craig. I mean, Manning going strong to his right, curling and pretty much fading away to his right side. Almost had no angle and still looks easy. We see him hit a few of those, so they desperately really needed that one. Not a lot of clock ran off, so now they got to get a stop here. Absolutely have got to get a stop and put themselves in a position to go the other way.
31.1 to play. Humacao trailing by 2, 89-91. Bilardo now with 21 points on 7 of 14 shooting overall. Malcolm Miller with 22. Miller's also got 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Horton with 9 points, 7 assists. Sasha Campos, 15 points. Off the bench for Humacao. Have to wonder if Campos is going to get back in there for his three-point shooting ability. For Ponce, Yesrael De Jesus, the second leading scorer in BSN, 17 points. Mike Rosario now with 25 on 10 of 17 shooting. He's 5 of 6 from two-point range, 5 of 11 from three. And Marvin Jones with 20 points for Ponce. Jones also with 9 rebounds. Humacao has a foul to give. Ponce over the limit.
I like the fact that they're stretching out the defense here, you know, full court press, try to force Ponce into the turnover. But if you don't get that backcourt count, definitely you want to go back into that man-to-man and not foul. Well, actually, Craig, what you want to do is you might want to use your fourth foul here quickly in case you need it afterwards. And they decide
finally
not
gets
to.
it in. There's De Jesus, Spotsville, and they throw it the alley-oop. And with 17.6, it's a 93-89 lead for Ponce on the easy alley-oop bucket.
And that time, a rare mistake defensively for Spotsville. Rather than being squared up with De Jesus, he gave him the lane, and then De Jesus quick enough to get into either his floater, so the big man had to commit. You see right there, just too much lane. And then when Amigo committed, he just threw the lob up to Jones. I'm sorry, a rare mistake there by Spotsville.
Just about 17 seconds left in the game. Humacao trails by 4. Still not out of the realm of possibility. Still with a foul to give. Get a quick bucket here, take the foul. Don't necessarily need a three-point attempt here, because it's going to take 2 buckets to win anyway. So if you're Pedro Gonzalez here, Victor, what are you drawing up? Who are you looking for?
Well, I would draw up something going towards the basket, okay? Kind of like what they had the last few times with Belardo, you know, just you got challenged upstairs, but you want to go towards the basket in order to draw a foul and stop the clock. If you don't have anything, then that's why they're plugging in Luis Rivera here. You know, they also have Horton and Miller. So you got 4 or 5 shooters out there. If you got nothing going inside, then you want to kick it out for the perimeter and try that 3, because the time now you are against the wall a little bit in terms of time. So you want to get either a quick action going to the basket to stop the clock, or get a quick 2. If not, then you are going for that outside 3.
Horton to inbound. As you said, Rivera has replaced Spotsville. 17.6 to play. Horton gets it into Belardo. Timing not quite right to get it to Miller. And a foul called, so Belardo will go to the free throw line.
And this works, you know, over-aggressive play there by De Jesus. Belardo was too far away from the basket to have anything going, so perhaps he should have backed up a little bit. Belardo taking the ball to his right, that is his strong side, and it stops the clock. So perfectly, at least on that sense, you know, the clock did stop. You've got to knock these 2 down and then go for the steal. If you can't go for the steal, then you have to foul and stop the game right away.
First free throw good for Belardo. 73% free throw shooter on the season. 8 of 8 in this game. So Spotsville is going to come back in for Luis Rivera. Second free throw no good, and there's the foul.
Yeah, that was a big second free throw. Now you're hoping that Ponce will miss 2 to keep it a 1-possession game. You see right there, actually, excuse me, that will be their 4th team foul. They have 1 to give.
Right.
So now what you want to do is you want to overplay their main free throw shooters and hope that they can get, or pretty much leave their worst free throw shooters open, even though they go with the 4-guard formation here because of that. If I was Horton, I would even turn around and deny the ball to De Jesus or Rosario because those are the guys that will be getting the ball here. But they have to foul.
And Pedro Gonzalez, yeah, Pedro Gonzalez was 10 feet on the floor telling Rivera to foul. And he let 7 seconds go off the clock, and now they're going to send Yisrael De Jesus to the free throw line to try to seal this game. He's an 84% free throw shooter. On the night, he's 2 of 3.
And that's that maturity, that game read that we spoke about. You know, that's what this Humacao team is. They're able to compete, put themselves in a position, but those slight mistakes, especially in the end, can hurt you so much. And that was just one example there. And now De Jesus knocks the first one down and puts this game into a 2-possession game.
95-98.2 to play. Bilardo into the front court. Three-pointer misses, and this one's going to come to an end. Another heartbreaker for Humacao. They fall 95-90 to Ponce. Humacao led by as many as 15 points in this game. Humacao outscored in the third quarter 17-22 and 14-22 in the fourth, after putting up 28 points and 31 points in the first and second quarter. And again, Victor, hate to beleaguer the point, but we've seen this so often from Humacao this season. They played so very well in stretches against good teams, and then just at the end, in the fourth quarter, failed to come up with much offensively.
Yeah, Craig, you know, we have seen this movie before, if you will. We've seen them come up, you know, in the end when it matters the most, you know, when you got situations that the possessions are valuable. Okay, give Ponce credit. They did switch into that zone that kind of gave Humacao the same troubles that they were having with that zone defense. So they mixed it up a little bit, put Humacao against the wall. They were not able to find a good rhythm, not able to find good shots, you know. And then obviously, when you got an 8-point lead with 5:56 to go, I thought that they gave up 2 open threes that cut that lead, and then a couple of mistakes there in the end, and also some good defensive plays from Ponce really were able to wrap this up. And it has been this kind of a season. You see the potential of the team. Absolutely, they've been able to compete. There's a reason why they led this game for almost 39 minutes of this game, and just not able to close it out, as they, you know, call this a growing pain. But if you are La Fanaticada de los Grises, you know, if you're following this team, you're definitely happy where they are. They're competing. Now, how do you get to that next level, which is not only compete, but be able to finish the games and come up with the big wins against the big franchises? And don't get it wrong, this Ponce team is one of the main squads in the league. They'll be a tough team to beat in the playoffs. They have a huge fan base down in Ponce. It's very hard to play down there. So this is a good team that they're playing against. It's too bad, you know, that a couple of mistakes there in the end, and they're especially defensively, and they were not able to get the win. So tough loss, heartbreaking loss, but you got to move on and learn from the mistakes right away.
Let's look at the final numbers on this one for Humacao. Darian Spotsville, 6 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists. Malcolm Miller, 22 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Gabby Bilardo, 22 points. Ken Horton had 9.7 rebounds, 6 assists. Daniel Amigo, 5 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists. Alexander Sacha Capos had 15 points. Nathaniel Butler had 4 points, 3 boards. and Luis Colon had 2 points. Ponce ended up out rebounding Humacao 40-38. 6 steals to 1 for Ponce and 8 blocked shots for Ponce. That's a whale of amount of blocked shots. For Ponce, the league's second leading scorer, Yezreel De Jesus, 19 points, 6 assists. Mike Rosario, 25 points. He was 5 of 11 from three-point range. And Unwa Omot, 8 points before fouling out. He also had 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Marvin Jones did the bulk of the heavy lifting for Ponce in the first half. He finished with 22 points, 9 boards, and 4 assists. Jordan Murphy finished with 2 points. Christian Negron had 5 to go along with 6 rebounds. Carlos Yao Lopez had 6 points, 5 rebounds. Luis Lopez had 3 points. Carlos Rivera had 2 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. 32 points in the paint for Humacao, 46 for Ponce. Ponce outscored Humacao on the break, 16-12. Bench points, Humacao 26-19 advantage. And the biggest scoring run for Humacao was 10, and the biggest scoring run for Ponce was 12 points. Coming up next for Humacao tomorrow night, Grises will travel to Guaynabo, then on Sunday to Santurce, before coming back to La Ache to take on Guaynabo on Tuesday the 23rd, and then the home finale will be on June 28th, the rescheduled game against Carolina from April 27th. For my partner Victor Mansoure, I'm Craig Feta saying so long from Humacao, where the Grises fall 95-90 to Ponce. Good night, everybody.
Ahora se puede con un préstamo personal de la Cooperativa Oriental. Ponte al día con tus metas financieras con un cómodo pago mensual que tienes hasta 90 días para hacer el primer pago. Llama al 787-418-2021. Cooperativa de Ahorro y Crédito Oriental, la alternativa de todo un pueblo.